Hello there and welcome back to another ITH video, and today I'm going to be driving this big red beast. It's the Ford Ranger Raptor. Right, so today we are going to drive this thing on-road and importantly off-road as well. But first I thought I'd have a look around the exterior design of this Ranger Raptor. Now, first thing you notice around the front of this car, wow, this huge grille with Ford emblazoned across the front doesn't leave you guessing at all who makes this thing. The bumper, it cuts in ever so slightly more than you get on the standard car. There's an aluminium skid plate underneath as well. You've got all these vents here and they're all real, which I like. Coming around to the side, this is where the big difference comes in between this and the standard Ranger. These wheel arches and little extensions here, the whole thing is 168 millimeters wider. Get yourself a ruler, measure that out. That is a big old difference. It means this thing is very wide, but it means you can get these 17-inch alloys on it and these massive chunky BF Goodrich tyres and 150mm wider track. Basically, the whole thing just means it's a bit more like this, a bit more girthy, and I quite like it. Okay, it's coming down the side. We've got another nice vent here. This is Colorado red solid paint. This is about a £180 option. I know some people like the blues and the greys on these. I like this, really in your face, big fan. We've got a very chunky side step down here with Raptor written on it as well. And finally, as well as these lovely big chunky wheel arches on the back, Raptor graphics as well. So with the original F-150 Raptor, it had a big chunky V8 and then it got downsized to a V6. And for this one, yeah, we've got this. This is a 2-litre twin turbo diesel engine. Yeah, I know. This produces 211 brake horsepower, 500 Newton meters of torque. Now, because it's a big old thing, it only manages 0 to 60 in about 10 seconds. It will sprint on to about 106 miles an hour. 31 to 32 miles per gallon are available, and I think it's probably doing about 230 and a bit more of the CO2. Now, this goes to all 4 wheels. It's got high range and low range, or 2-wheel drive to the rear wheels, and that goes through a 10-speed automatic gearbox.
And thanks to the guys at BOTB.com, they have a weekly winner of their dream car competition. They have over 150 different cars in the lineup, plus, of course, the Ford Ranger Raptor, which you could win for just a few pounds. You only have to be 16 or over, and it's a worldwide competition. Also, there's a chance to win fuel for the year and £20,000 in cash to your prize. Best of luck playing, links in the description below.
So, important stuff around the back of this Raptor. We've got parking sensors, very handy because this thing is enormous. We've also got 2 very heavy-duty towing eyes, and we've got the towing hook up there, along with a 13-pin connector. Very important to note, this only tows 2.5 tons instead of the normal Ranger's 3.5 tons. Right, what's also important is what goes on in there. So here we are in the load bed, and in here you can only carry 620 kilos. That is quite a bit less than the standard Ranger. And another aspect to think of is as well, because of the extra ride height, this loading lip here is also 51mm further up than it is on the standard car. So you get quite a few compromises over a normal Ranger with this Raptor version. And also, I would say, with all of these bars and this sliding top here and all this gubbins, you're really reducing the practicality of this. I would struggle to get a mountain bike on here easily, but it looks a lot better. So what are you going to do? So once you've clambered up into this thing using the grab handle up there, you notice the fact that this is quite a step up from a normal Ranger inside. First thing you see are these very nice sports seats. They've got like 3 levels of trim on here. You've got black leather, grey leather, blue stitching, bit of Alcantara in the middle, big embroidered Raptor logo as well, and these are fully electric. Big fan. Now, steering wheel, perforated leather, huge amount of buttons and paddles behind as well, and you've even got a nice red 12 o'clock marker like on a 911 GT3 RS. Now, when you're talking about kit, this has got it all pretty much for a pickup truck. There's Ford's Sync 3 touchscreen system here, fairly average system, but you've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and things, so absolutely fine. Plug your phone in and away you go. 2 USB sockets down there to do that. You have got a very large and weird looking gear lever here. Next to it you have the selection for 2 high, 4 high and 4 low, and pretty much that's it in terms of the kit. You've got all your cruise control and all those things as well, all very nice. Now, practicality wise, this is a split level bin here. The top bit just takes keys. This you can put almost your entire arm in, which is nice. You've got 2 large cup holders and massive door bins. I mean, it's a pickup truck, what do you expect? But I need to check how big it is in the back as well. So here we are in the back of the Raptor. Now, as ever with the Tim test, there's not a great deal of legroom in here. Despite being a very long car, I'm surprised that my knees are touching the seat in front. Not exactly a normal use case, but worth pointing out. Lots of headroom in here. Width-wise, this is a very, very wide car, but this isn't a central full-size seat, which does surprise me actually. You do get a little thing here, so you can pull this down, and it's an armrest with a couple more cup holders, which is good. You've got Isofix mountings on the rear seats, as you would expect. One little surprise I quite liked is that there's a full 3-pin plug down here, so you can plug in your laptop, your phone, your dishwasher, whatever you want really. Right, so before we get out on the open road, as we're in a big multi-storey car park, I thought I was going to see just how easy this gargantuan beast is to park. Right, there we go. Now, it has got reverse parking sensors and a reversing camera, but it's got a fairly terrible lock. Yeah, no, try again. This thing is wide. Gee, okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, whoop, hello. I can't get out if I leave it there. And we are stopped, although I have no idea how far back I am, or I'm probably sticking out somewhere into North Wales. Done. So as this has got Ford Performance written on the sills, we should talk about the performance a bit, I suppose. Now, okay, it's not got a whole lot of power, but you know what? It goes all right. It goes all right. If you put my foot down, and it moves of its own accord. I can't say it's the fastest thing in the world, but then you're driving a massive pickup truck. I mean, what do you expect? Now, I suppose we should talk about the handling as well. Yeah, it's a very, very tall, very heavy car with a very high centre of gravity. You've got massive off-road tyres, and as I found in the multi-storey car park, about 248 turns lock to lock. So don't go too fast into a corner, you might die, because the grip isn't its strong suit, I'm afraid. But it's fairly confident inspiring, just don't go too crazy. Now I must talk about one of the Raptor's unexpected party pieces actually, which is thanks to the huge chunky off-road tyres and the very expensive Fox Racing suspension, what you actually get, as well as something that can chuck itself around off-road a bit, is the fact that it's got really supple long travel suspension. That means around town and driving this thing normally on our roads, which are generally pretty terrible, you can do anything you want and you barely even notice it. You're driving along, you could drive over, I don't know, potholes, curbs, minis, and you won't even notice. But when you get onto a motorway, the fact that it's got these off-road tyres and a huge amount of turns lock to lock means that actually it tends to wander around quite a lot, and it's actually quite hard to keep going in a straight line, and that's slightly off-putting. I mean, I drove quite a long way down here where we're testing today, and yeah, it was a bit unnerving at first. I guess you'd get used to it though. Well, you've seen how this thing drives on the road, but frankly, you all want to know what this thing is like off-road. So, to the farm! Right, here we go. Bit of fun on the farm. Been looking forward to driving on this for Christian! Here he is.
Come on, out you get.
God's sake. Right, be careful with it.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Fine.
Right.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
So as Tim said, the 0 to 60 time in this is hardly breathtaking. 10.5 seconds 0 to 60. It might even be the slowest car we've reviewed on the ITX channel, but it might be one of the funnest because I've not even gone over 50 miles an hour yet. So we've put the Ford Raptor into Baja mode, which is basically its sportiest setting for covering ground like this. And with the Fox Racing springs and dampeners, it absolutely rides over everything. I have to say, the BF Goodrich KO2 tyres are unbelievable. Plenty of grip, and that plate on the front, that's 2.3 mil thick, so you can hit some serious stuff with it, and it will literally just bounce straight back. And the side plates that have the Raptor logo on, they are magnesium die cast, and they can hold the whole weight of the car. So if you do end up beaching it, it's not the end of the world. And I know Tim's already covered it in the on-road review, but I gotta say, the 10-speed gearbox is pretty good. You just leave it, and it just does exactly what you want it to, and it will be in the right gear, especially when you've got it in the right driving mode for the situation. Gears aren't an issue. And as we come back into the farm, I know if we give it a bit of power around here, you can slide it to your heart's content. Oh, this is so much fun. So I think at last, Tim and I can at least agree on one thing, and that is that this is a lot of fun. But there are two slight drawbacks.
Yeah, the first one being it costs almost 50 grand, which is a lot of money for a pickup truck. And that leads on to the second point, being that it means you can't register it as a commercial vehicle.
You can't, so you can't get the VAT back on the Ford Ranger Raptor, and that is due to the load capacity in the rear. On the standard Ranger, it's a lot more, and that is basically because on this, it's got these awesome Fox springs that you would have seen a nice little cutaway in this video of. And that allows you to do really cool fun stuff that you've seen in this video, but unfortunately it does reduce the weight, the load capacity in the rear.
Yeah, fun stuff or just plain silly boys toys stuff, which is what it is really. And that's what this thing actually boils down to. It is a fun toy. And what a toy. If you've got an Ariel like this, there's nothing that comes close, apart from maybe the Ariel Nomad.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that Ariel Nomad here, actually. And actually that goes on to us to say thank you to Rob, who owns this farm. He's very kindly let us tear around for the day, which has been incredibly good fun.
Yes.
And we've made a little bit of a mess, as we have of the Ford. So you're going to have to get the jet wash out.
Jet wash on this.
Yeah, jet wash on that. And a huge thanks as well to BOTB. BOTB have the Ford Ranger Raptor in the lineup. You could win it for just a couple of quid. Please do check out the link in the description below. And of course, BOTB, as you know, give away a dream car every single week. You only have to be 16 or over, and it's a worldwide competition. So please do check it out in the link below. And you never know, you might be next week's winner. We'll try and get it washed.
Yeah, definitely.
If you do win one.
Yeah,
guys, thank you so much for watching another ITH video. We'll be back with more content real soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Right, so once you've clambered up into this thing, it's quite a way up, the first thing you know... Right, so today we are going to be doing this... Yep, start again. Okay, it's coming down the side. We've got a nice... Oh, no, this is... Yeah, I'll start again without this. Lovely. Right.